Welcome everyone to a brand new spoiler review of the Disney Plus Star Wars show Skeleton Crew. We finally have made it to the season finale, episode 8 of Skeleton Crew, The Real Good Guys, directed by John Watts. My name is Max Sittenberg. Welcome back to a brand new video here at Max Talks Movies. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. I do movie and TV show reviews, box office breakdown shows, movie franchise rankings, and out of theater reactions. So thank you for subscribing and ring that bell for notifications. Comment down below and let me know your thoughts on Skeleton Crew. Do you want a season 2? Do you think this should be it? Was this one of your least favorite Star Wars shows? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments. I respond to every single one. So please comment and let's have a fun discussion about Star Wars. And also, please hit that like button down below. So, overall, I thought that this was a really good finale for Skeleton Crew. In my opinion, a really good show. Yes, this probably is one of the best Star Wars shows in years. I do think it's probably the best Star Wars show, at least since Andor. And and what's sad about the discourse is that people say that this is a sad opinion to have. Now, yes, is it sad that Star Wars has made a lot of bad shows recently? I don't like that people are throwing the show under the wraps. Like, of course, this is the show that's actually good. I don't really like that sentiment. Because if you look at the people who created the show, who directed the show, the filmmakers that liked the storytelling and the story itself, you could have an idea that this show could be good. The problem here is that the marketing for the show did Skeleton Crew just no favors. And and especially following the Acolyte, which had a lot of, I guess, teenager-like stuff going on. Now we're going into kids. For me, none of the trailers actually look good. I really wasn't excited to watch this show. I understand that, obviously the ratings for the show reportedly are not very good. Jude Law is kind of like the biggest name here on the show, and he's never been a box office big time draw, either on the small screen or the big screen. But for me, I'm not going to talk about this as too much as a business. I will towards the end. Overall, I thought this was a really good finale where we're back on Ad-Aton and Jod has control of everything as the embassy, of the Republic. We get to kind of see the supervisor who it looked like originally was kind of going to be like a Wizard of Oz thing where someone's controlling the machine where there's an actual person. We did not see an actual person, so as of now, at least it seems like a droid was running the planet. We get Wynn's dad added into the action here in this episode, as well as Fern's mom into the action, played by Carrie Condon, who plays the character Farah. We have KB flying the ship. We have Neil doing saving some lives this episode once again. Neil falls off the bike, but he is okay. He drop and rolls into communicating with everyone and using the big blaster that he used at episode 4. This episode did a lot of really good, like, minute callbacks that weren't like, oh my God, this, they explained to you what the callback was. They were just callbacks for previous episodes. If it was the shortcut that Fern used in the very first episode, if it was the big gun that Neil saw on the other planet in episode 4, I believe, at, at Akron. I hope I'm saying that name right. So I think Neil's, used that gun from the previous episode. I really enjoyed those kind of like minute callbacks. The overall team of kids, again, is a lot of fun here on the show. Jude Law clearly was having a blast as Jod. We do learn about his backstory. Jod technically isn't a Jedi. And that was a really cool thing in the show where Jod basically tells the super thing that he's a emissary and a Jedi. But obviously, the supervisor says, "Well, if you're lying about something, because either we weren't expecting the Republic here, but also we were told that all Jedi are traitors." Obviously, that's after the events of Revenge of the Sith, and that's when Fern called him out. I like that scene a lot. But we learned that Jod was Force sensitive, was brought in by a female Jedi, but basically very quickly on, he watched her get killed, and that really turned him basically into this savage pirate. So he's force sensitive, but obviously he's not a Jedi. He's not in between. There's nothing like that. He's just someone who felt very scorned by people with the force. And that's why he moved on with his life. He does not say which Jedi that is. I can't imagine that's like, obviously it's not Ahsoka. So Shakti, but we've seen her get killed multiple times here on the ship, multiple different ways she's died in Star Wars. Can't imagine it's her. And then you have Luminara Unduli from the Clone Wars. So that would be my only guess, but because she obviously gets killed before the events of Rebels. Um, and I'll be interested to see if she's the one who did it, but I'm not sure we're ever going to find out the answer who the actual Jedi was, who Jod learned from, and then what had to watch get killed. Um, but obviously, the kids figured out KB on the ship. That was a lot of fun. The action here was sprawling as we're going through the entire planet. The school getting destroyed, the water, homes. But then, obviously, with the help of KB getting through the area was protecting the planet, she reached out to the owl character from a couple episodes ago, and that is where she got reinforcements of the X-Wings of supposedly the New Republic. And then when they come in, just the amazement. Obviously, when the barrier goes down, the amazement of not just obviously the kids, but really the citizens, that all these people have no idea what the galaxy even is. And we continue to really pin the point here in this show that it is a galaxy far, far away. And looking into the stars is a sign of hope and optimism and a sign of life, honestly. We see that a lot of different Star Wars projects try to hit that home. I think the show did a really good job of that, obviously through the character of Wim, someone who's wants to be on adventures and things like that, but could never until this show. So I really enjoyed the actual people looking up. Jon Watts did a very good job directing a lot of just major action set pieces. So it looks like Jod's like gonna be like the captain going down with his ship in this episode when the X-Wings come in. He kind of stands there. They did not show him like fall down or the building explode. So I feel like if they do a season two, I'm not totally sure Jod's like actually dead. Because he gave like a little smirk when he was looking at all the ships falling down. So I wonder if if there is season two, if Jod comes back or not. My instinct was actually no. Sorry, my instinct was yes, he would. I didn't feel like that was his like death scene. So that'll be interesting. But KB with 33 flying the ship, then they come down, making sure they're okay, and all the kids hug. It is a great. The four of them are really good together. Obviously, you have Neil and Win that were best friends before, and Fern and KB. But I thought all four of them really worked together. The acting from all four of the actors I thought was really strong. I didn't love Wim's dad character throughout the whole show. And that was kind of like mostly performance, but also with the actual story they were going with his father. Wasn't like the biggest fan of that, and he kind of had a major role in this episode. So that part of it I didn't really like in this episode. And at times didn't make a lot of sense why Fern's mom, Farah, was so resistant to so many different things. If she wanted to help the kids earlier and try to like sneak so much stuff through, why would she hold back now? That part, like the parent stuff, didn't always work for me in the show. The kid stuff usually always did. It was more like the parent storylines that just did not work for me in the show. But we end up with the barrier going down. So I think it leaves it up for grabs for the First Order to kind of come in, take the gold, and have them build up the First Order. Because again, this is before the events of the sequel trilogy. So if there's a season two, I would imagine they would have either the Republic come in, try to protect the planet, and either the First Order comes in, or just in general, the First Order comes in, takes all of the gold, and that's how we get the First Order heading into Force Awakens. It'll be interesting to see if they go down that route. I would love a season two of Skeleton Crew. If Jon Watts is up for continuing creating the show and writing the show with Christopher Ford, that would really work for me. I think this is an excellent show that accomplished. Yes, it is definitely a kid show, but I think this when they pitched it as Goonies meet in the Star Wars world, that's exactly what it was. It was National Treasure, Goonies, Pirates, Pirates of the Caribbean, not Indiana Jones, but in the world of Star Wars. And the show they pitched is the show we got. And a lot of the last couple Star Wars projects, the creators would pitch it to us publicly, and there was the total opposite show in the wrong direction. This show executed what it was going for, at a very high level. So credit to John Watson, the whole creative team behind Skeleton Crew. Sadly, due to the brand just not being great at the moment, it doesn't seem like many people check the show out. I've been banging the drum that people need to be watching Skeleton Crew. It's one of the best Star Wars shows of the last 5 years. And I am rooting for a season two, but again, that all comes down to business and the show cost and the viewership. So we'll see. It took like the Acolyte like a week to find out or so if it got canceled or not, which obviously got canceled. So Star Wars already had to cancel one show this year. We will see if we get Skeleton Crew, more Skeleton Crew, or this is the last we see of these really fun characters into the Star Wars world. So that's my thoughts on the finale of Skeleton Crew. What are your thoughts? Thanks for joining me over the last 7 or 8 weeks breaking down this show every single week. I've had honestly a blast doing it for you guys. So please subscribe, ring the bell, comment, like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.